tasty. Kosher in the kitchen.
Nina Safar. I'm here with Fifth Perez, and we're going to show you how to make Hamantashen for Purim. For all you meat lovers, these are taco Hamantashen. They're basically taco bites. They're like a real taco, but bite-sized, mini, which is great for entertaining. You can serve it on a dish with whatever you put on a regular taco, with guacamole, salsa, shredded red cabbage, some fresh lime, and it's keeping with the traditional shape. It's a triangle, but it's something tasty and delicious that can be served on Purim or anytime you're having guests. Here we have Mediterranean Hamantashen. They're basically pizza bites. They're a great fresh appetizer to serve in the beginning of the day, and they're keeping with the traditional shape, but something fun and different. Saving the best for last, here are chocolate raspberry Hamantashen. I'm a sugar junkie, and I love chocolate, so I decided to throw that into puff pastry dough, and you basically have the best thing ever. Whether you are going with traditional Hamantashen or mixing it up in the kitchen, the technique remains the same. You want to take your dough and cut circles out of it. You can use a glass cup, just flip it over, and you've got yourself a makeshift cookie cutter. Then you are going to place your circles onto a lightly greased baking pan. I like to use Pam, and I also cover my baking sheet with parchment paper for easy cleanup. Once you have your circles all placed on the baking sheet, just put some water on it so it's easier to work with. Then you're going to take your taco meat and place it in the center of each circle, using about a teaspoon of meat. You don't want to put too much because it's going to be hard to work with and hard to close up. Now this taco meat is basically ground beef that has been browned with some taco seasoning added to it. Once you have that in the center of the circle, you're going to pinch the corners together to form a triangle. If you have trouble getting it to stick, just wet the corners a bit. You might have to do that. Now you're ready to pop them in the oven. Place them in the oven on 350 for about 10 to 15 minutes until they are nice and crispy. Now we are ready to make our Mediterranean Hamantashen. You're going to defrost the dough. Then you're gonna lay it out on the counter. And you might wanna take some flour and put it on the counter so the dough doesn't stick. Take a rolling pan and roll out the dough so it's thin. Then you're gonna take your cookie cutter and cut out circles. Once you have your circles all cut out, you're gonna place them on a lightly greased baking sheet, and you're gonna place the filling in the center of the circle. The filling for this Hamantash is sauteed onions and tomatoes, fresh basil, and crumbled goat cheese. Once you have your circles all placed on the baking sheet, you're going to take an egg wash, which is basically 1 egg with a tablespoon of water mixed together. You're going to use that to lightly wet the dough. This will make it easier later when you're forming the triangle. Once you've got that done, you're going to form a triangle by pinching together the sides. Remember, if it has trouble sticking together, you can use a little bit more of that egg wash. Once you've got all your triangles formed, you're gonna lightly wash it down again with the egg wash. Then you're gonna place it in the oven on 375 for about 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes it takes longer, depends how crunchy you want it. Now we're gonna make my favorite, the sweet chocolate raspberry Hamantashen. We're using puff pastry again. So similar to the same technique like we did before, we're gonna roll out the pastry dough, we're gonna cut out the circles, place them on the lightly greased baking sheet, and we're gonna fill it up with my favorite ingredients, chocolate spread and fresh raspberries. You're gonna take a little bit of chocolate spread, about a teaspoon, place it in the center of the dough, take 1 raspberry. You could do more, but then sometimes it's harder to get it to close down, so I like to start off with 1, and if you have more room, you could do more. Once you have the dough circles placed on the lightly greased baking sheet, you're gonna take the egg wash from before and just lightly wet the dough. Once you have your triangles formed, you're gonna pop them in the oven on 375 for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm Nina Safar from Kosher in the Kitchen, and today we whipped up great tasting Hamantashen for Purim. We cooked up some Mediterranean Hamantash, taco bites, taco Hamantash, and my favorite, chocolate raspberry Hamantashen. Stay tuned for more great tasting recipes by Nina Safar on Fit Perez. And if you can't wait that long, go to kosherinthekitchen.com for easy, fast, and tasty recipes. Happy holidays.